I'm joined in studio by Tony Enderle. He is about to take on the Ocean's 7, and if he completes it, he's going to be the first South African to do so. Today, he's going to tell me how he's preparing for the big adventure. Hello.
Hello, and thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming in. Now, I said you're going to tell me how you're preparing, but you've already actually completed 2 of the swims.
That's correct.
Tell me about those swims.
Yeah, sure. I started swimming about 7 years ago, doing a Robben Island, which I thought was a massive test for me. And from that led to, it was a massive test. I said I would never be in cold water ever again in a Speedo. And the bug bit. And, a couple of Robben Islands later, I ended up swimming with a few friends from Spain to Africa. And that led to the Everest swims, which was the English Channel. In 2013, I tried to do it, and I failed. I was quite a few kilometers from France, and I was pulled out by hypothermia and jellyfish. So I had to give it another bash, and last year I successfully finished the English Channel in 15 hours. And then from that led to really go and say, well, listen, I need to give it a good bash and try and do the balance of the swims, which is the 5 swims that's left. So that's where we are now.
How do you train for these extreme cold water swims?
I think it's just time in the water.
Is it?
So
Okay.
it's really getting into the water, and when you finish, you're cold and stiff, and you get back, and it's exhilarating as well, because when you feel great afterwards. But the next day, when you're sore and you don't feel like getting in the water, you have to get in again. And it's continuous, just really getting adaptable to the cold water.
All right, how long is it going to take you to complete the next 5 swims?
Yeah, so next year, July, we leave with the family and my safety team. So in July next year, mid-July, we're going to be swimming the Catalina Channel. And then I'll have a couple of weeks off, and then I'll be swimming the Molokai Channel, which is an epic swim that's probably going to be about 20 hours. And that's going to be different to my traditional swims, which is in cold water. This is going to be warm water, heavy currents, swells, marine life, which is always out there. So that's in your mind as well, and hot conditions. So that's going to be really intense. And then in 2018, I'm swimming the North Irish Channel, which is going to be then again the opposite, extremely cold. When I got pulled out of the English Channel in 13 degrees, that's the whole North Irish.
Yeah.
And it's miserable, it's cold, you're not going to have any sun in your back. If there's sun that comes out, there is going to be jellyfish, and it's just one of those elements. It's going to be really, really tough. And in 2019, I finish up where I go to New Zealand and I swim the Cook Straits,
Okay.
and Zuguru in Japan in the same year. So
Wow.
the next 2.5 years is really action-packed, and lots of training and getting ready for everything.
Now, your wife and son are sitting in our waiting room. What does your
Yes.
wife think about this adventure that you've set out on?
I think there's 2 words: nuts, crazy. But what's really, really nice, we chatted about it, and because our kids are really young, it's a good opportunity to really show them the world. And one of the biggest elements in the why that I'm doing this, yes, it is for a great cause and everything else, but I want my kids to realize that we're very fortunate to have a roof over our head. We're lucky to have clean drinking water and have the modern things of society. And I really want to teach them the bigger part of the world and what's important and what's not important. And it's not about the big buildings and nice cars and everything else, and just really showing them the true values of life. So very excited to show them, but they're also very nervous, but it was really exciting when they said, listen, because the other 2 swims, they weren't there for me.
Yeah.
They were in South Africa, and it was very emotional for me to do these things, and they weren't there for me. Where now, it's going to be a big motivation where I'm swimming, I know that they're on the other side of the beach waiting for me. So it's really cool, and it's a big drive for me as well, which is nice.